Hey crafters, welcome back to my channel Because I'm Crafty. My name's Katelyn and today I'm going to show you guys a cute DIY for any sewist. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a teacup pincushion. You can use this for a teapot as well, or anything that has some kind of like crevice in the middle that you can put a pincushion in and put it together. So I'm going to put mine together with a saucer. And I'm also going to use some really strong magnets to glue to the bottom so that the plate can act as a pin catcher with the magnets. So this is a super quick DIY, so let's get started. So for this DIY, you're going to need some really strong glue. This is some epoxy to glue my cup to the saucer. You're going to need some fabric for your pin cushion and a needle and thread to kind of gather it together at the bottom. You're going to need something to fill your pin cushion with. I'm just using some batting, some magnets, which is optional, something to draw on your fabric with to make the shape, and something to cut your fabric with. So let's get started. So I'm just going to take my plate and put it onto my fabric and use that as a guide for my circle for my pin cushion. But I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger just so I have enough to kind of go inside the teacup and down and then gather it at the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and put the camera down towards the table so you can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. So like I said, I'm just going to take my saucer and make some marks so that my cushion fabric is a little bit bigger. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, it's just an approximate, and using this just helps to be as a bit of a guide. Hopefully you can see my marks, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. So this is the right side of my fabric, a nice shiny side. I'm going to take some batting, use it for the center. Kind of want to fit it inside your teacup to make sure it's big enough and that it kind of comes out the top a little bit. But my fabric will hold that down a little bit better once it's all inside. So I just kind of want to put it in the middle and bring everything together. Like that. Okay, so this is just me just holding it briefly, but I'm going to take my hand sewing needle and gather that all together, and then we're going to put this inside like so. So it's going to look a little bit better than that, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit what I was talking about so you kind of have a better idea. And I'm going to use a brighter thread so you guys can see a little bit better on camera what I'm doing, because it's all going to be glued down inside so you will never see it, so it doesn't really matter what color it is. And you could do this by machine first, just go around your fabric and then gather it, but I kind of like to do it by hand because then I can kind of wrap my thread around at the end. You'll see what I mean. So I've gotten back around to where I've started. So now I want to, before I gather it in anymore, take my batting, put it inside. We just want to slowly gather this gently. And I think we need some more batting to kind of fill that out. It may seem like a lot now, but it will get down to a pretty small size once we get going here. Okay, so there's kind of our cushion. And now that I've pulled it pretty tight, I'm going to take my needle and start grabbing chunks to start pulling this hole together. You don't want to break your thread, so you gotta be careful as you do this. A longer needle will help too to get through all of it. This part doesn't have to be pretty because, like I said before, it's going to go right inside of the teacup, so it will not be seen. As long as it's held together as tightly as you can, then you will be good to go. So just do this a bunch of times until you feel like it's as secure as you can possibly get it. Okay, and then you just kind of want to stitch in the same spot a few times to make like a knot. Now you want to try and fit it into your teacup and see how things are going. There we go. So I think that that looks really cute. And this teacup I got from a thrift store, and I picked it up because it almost looks like there's cross stitching on it. And I like the gold kind of rimming on it, and the little handle's really cute too. And then the saucer's just kind of a plain gold rimmed saucer. So you want to find a plate that has this rim in it so that your teacup will fit nicely once you glue it. So you can glue this part in with just some regular hot glue in the bottom and squish it in. But since mine is quite a bit bigger, I feel like it's pretty secure and it's not going to move. So depending on how your pin cushion kind of comes together, that may be something that you want to do. But since this feels pretty snug, I'm not going to glue it down in the middle. Now I want to come over to my saucer, and I want to glue some magnets to the bottom so that it kind of acts like a magnetic pin cushion. Or pin catcher, I guess you could say. So these are just from the dollar store, and I'm going to glue these on the side here. I'm going to probably use all these because I don't need them for anything else at the moment. And I'm going to use some epoxy glue. Now be very careful when you're using strong super glues like this. If you don't feel comfortable, you can use hot glue. The only thing I do really suggest is, depending on how heavy and how thick your teacup is, maybe you're using a coffee mug or something that's a little bit more, the ceramic's thicker or more sturdy, then you may want something stronger like an epoxy to glue the ceramic to the ceramic. So just think about that. If you are afraid of using the epoxy, just make sure that you have enough strength to actually hold it together. So this one I'm just going to take another review at the instructions, make sure you follow them as best you can, and glue your things together. So first I am going to glue these on, let them sit for a couple minutes, and then I will glue my teacup to my base. So I'm going to let those sit for a few minutes before I turn it over and put the teacup on. So now that I've let these set for a few minutes and they are not movable anymore, I'm going to flip it over, take my teacup, and I'm going to apply some epoxy to this inner rim and a little bit to the very edge, and then I'm going to place it in the very center of my plate. There, so I was just twisting it a little bit to kind of get the glue to move around. I think the cup has good positioning now, so I'm just going to leave it and let it be. Now, as you can see, I tried to squeeze it out of this nozzle, but it was already starting to cure inside the tube, so you do have to work a little bit quickly, and I used the rest of this once I took that off. So that is all finished. So for safety, I'm just going to put this back inside and dispose of it all together. Alright guys, so I've given this a few more minutes to dry so I can handle it. And it's got the, I'm just gonna hold it still, magnets on the bottom, and it's all glued in there nicely. I'm still gonna let it sit for a while to fully cure. But that's what it looks like. I think it's so cute, and I'm so happy I found this teacup that looks cross-stitched. So, you've got your pins, just like a regular pin cushion, no big deal. And then with the magnets underneath, they kind of stick to where the magnets are. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 with a super cute look. And I think if you have some old teacups around that you're willing to part with, or like I did, go to the thrift store and get either a matching set or mix and match something, and you can create something really super cute. And I think this would be really cool too in a teapot version, or a coffee cup, anything like that, depending on any sewist or maybe your own sewing room to match. But I think it's super cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it's so super cute and a fairly quick DIY. If you guys make something like this, make sure to share it with me on Instagram with the hashtag becauseimcrafty. I'd love to see the takes that you guys do on this, or if you take this idea and run with it and do something super crazy with it with some other object. I think it would be really cool. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Make sure to check out my other Christmas gift idea videos and playlists. I'll leave them at the end of the video if you're interested in those. And make sure to check out any other links in the description regarding Christmas ideas and just general gift DIYs. So I hope you guys have a fabulous week and a fabulous holiday season. And I'll see you next time, crafters. Bye!